Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So today I'd like to go over the Storyteller Journals and the artifact set that you get with it and whether or not they're actually worth buying. Along with that, we also have the Elite Refinement Pack available on the Zen Market. I've made a video on it before. I'll have a link in the description, but I'll also go over whether that's worth it. So firstly, I'd like to give a special thank you to all of my channel members for helping me keep my channel going. So upon looking in the events tab on the Zen Market, we can see we can now purchase this Storyteller Artifact Choice Pack, and within it you can obtain all of those Storyteller Journals on their epic rarity. With that, you can also purchase the set which goes with it, the neck and waist piece. So you would have the scarf of embellishments and you would have the sash of embellishments. Now, whether or not it's worth it to buy it for you guys, that is entirely down to whether you have the Zen to be spending on these type of items, and in my opinion they're nowhere near worth it to purchase right now. And a major reason being is in the works they've said they're going to be introducing a new event with similar artifacts to the Storyteller Journals. Now, whether or not they're going to work exactly the same with having the same different set bonuses of giving that additional power and also that additional hit for weapon damage upon a critical hit, that is questionable. And currently, with the state of the Storyteller Journals, it makes them the best in slot for a DPS character to be running at least 3 of them. Ideally, you would run 3 of these Storyteller Journals, and that would then be your Envenomed as your main, then your Darkened, and also your Frozen. Those would be the 3 I would highly recommend for a DPS character to be using if you want to min-max your character. It would give you those extra stacks of hit points along with percentage power, which will just help out a teeny bit there, but the major benefit is the additional hit for weapon damage on a critical hit. Now, this isn't significantly a big thing that's going to contribute to a lot of damage. It's very minimal on an endgame character. It's going to be a maximum of about 2% of your overall damage, at least in single target. It will also depend on what class you're playing. If you're playing a class which has a lot of damage over time, then depending on the powers, these additional hits could proc off a lot more often than, let's say, a player playing an Arbiter where you don't hit as often and thus you wouldn't benefit from it. Then we have the neck and waist set, and you can see that's the scarf and also the sash. And when you have all of those equipped, you can see that the scarf and the sash will just give you extra ability scores, 1 to each. On top of that, it will also give you an additional increase to your attributes by an additional 1, so you're basically gaining 2 to all of your ability scores by having both the neck and the waist. And you will also have the chance to deal additional unresistible damage equal to 10% of your weapon damage. Let me tell you, this is absolutely garbage. You gain next to no damage from that chance to deal 10% of your weapon damage. As for the set itself, would I use it? The only role I would be tempted to use it on would be a tank. However, by now there's a much superior set, and this would be this diamond set. You would have the set as I have here with Dashing Decoy, giving you that extra reduction to damage taken by 5% and increase to awareness, and also an increase to threat generation. You would ideally get this set for a tank. As for a healer, there's no point running these Storyteller Journals. The extra percentage power is nice. The additional hit is not going to help with heals, so you would want to run with just artifacts that have much higher item level, like your Wyvern Knives, your Erratic Drift Globe. You can look in the collections here, and there's many of these different artifacts you can pick up. Of course, as a healer and a DPS, you ideally want those artifacts with lots of offense statistics. Of course, as a healer, you ideally want to not have accuracy or combat advantage. As for a tank, if you're right now considering whether I should take these Storyteller Journals, I currently am using them on my tank. I currently like to use the Frozen as my main, giving that extra defense to myself and also increasing the damage to allies by 10%. It's a very nice buff. And then I'm also just using the Darkened and the Flayed just for those extra statistics. Now, the only reason why I'm using those artifacts is because I have them, and I obtained them through the Tales of Old event. I didn't go to the Zen Market and purchase them, and there's no way I'm going to go and purchase these for my Bard. Of course, if you just want to min-max right now, and you're impatient and you just want those storyteller journals, sure, go ahead, buy 3 of these storyteller journal packs. That's going to cost you 4,500 Zen. Of course, you can use some coupons to reduce that cost, and then you're going to have to go to the Wondrous Bazaar, and you're going to have to go to Equipable here and purchase all of the tails. Ideally, you would get the tails for your frozen artifact, and you'd get the tails for your envenomed artifact. If you're always just going to run envenomed as your main, then just only get the tails for the envenomed, of course. Those tails are not exactly that cheap, with them being around 150,000 on their reduced price per tail. So to conclude, no. Right now, even if you're DPS and you're looking to min-max but have the patience, don't purchase those Tales of Old books right now. I don't recommend it. It's a lot of Zen that sets you back, with this Zen exchange being really slow, taking more than over half a year. It's too expensive to be spending that much Zen on these items, which potentially down the road, and they have said already, they're working on a new event with new storyteller journals, at least new artifact sets. Then we also have within this events tab, when we look down in here in supplies, we can go and purchase these elite refinement packs and potentially obtain this Neverwinter elite pack. Many people will buy these. They're relatively cheap, and you do gain a decent output of those refinement items of enchanting stones and also your teal diamonds. They can be very useful for that. However, it's mainly this elite pack people are after. And I found generally if you open about 20 of these, you have a chance to obtain one of these elite packs. Of course, some people can be more lucky, some people could be more unlucky. And that elite pack is going for just over 4 million there. And the reason being is people will just get it for herself, Xuna, which is 4.5 million. She is currently the best companion to use within an AoE environment, where she can jump to multiple enemies and dealing lots and lots of damage. And it would be a companion I would highly recommend picking up for DPS. However, if again you have lots of other things to prioritize, I wouldn't go and jump and get an Xuna. If you've many other different things like mounts still, companions to upgrade still, to get that bolster. Bolster is your main priority before getting, let's say, the top end damage dealing companion, where she's only going to deal, let's say, 10% more damage than some other companion. You might want to get the Black Ice Prospector instead, or the Air Archon, or just farm Juma bags and you might get lucky and even get a Xuna. Just don't go out there spending 4 million on a companion. You're just going to be a little bit disappointed. It's not going to go and literally carry your ass like she did once upon a time. And that's really it. While I was away, we did get a bunch of changes in the latest patch note, but nothing really major at all. Just some minor tweaks and fixes here and there. We did get the change to, which is a very good thing, the Ring of Air and the Ring of Darkness that you get from the Hardcore Vault of Stars. That got changed to be account bound. However, that's not retroactively done on anybody else who's already claimed those. It will probably be done within a future patch. And they've also went and changed the bind status of, I believe, a few of those weapon enchantments that were unfortunately being character bound. Same with those legendary companions from the legendary companion bundle. Once again, massive thank you to my channel members, along with all of you guys who've been supporting my channel, just subscribing, and we've managed to hit 10,000. That is an amazing goal. Just under 2 years now doing YouTube, and I'm really happy to see my efforts have been paying off. So thank you all for watching, and if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. See you guys around. Goodbye for now.